welcome to Cybernet with me, Steve Truitt. Today we'll go combat racing with Jack, fight some mighty marvels, control a giant creature, and visit a dangerous island. It's unbelievable. It's Cybernet. We kick off this week's show with a lovable hero. In his last adventure, Jack stopped the Dark Maker menace, and since then, cities have flourished and sports have emerged to fill the void. Which is why in the series' fourth installment, Jack leaves the platforming action behind to compete in combat racing on the PlayStation 2. In this edition, which picks up shortly after the previous game, Jack and his wacky pal Daxter are summoned to Kraz City for the reading of a will. Surrounded by familiar faces like Ashlyn and Kira, the gang learns that they have been poisoned and must compete in the biggest, most dangerous race on the planet. And one of them has to win the race so they can all receive the antidote in time. In the main adventure mode, you compete in 4 cups consisting of 20 different races each, where the name of the game is survival. As you win and earn medals, additional tracks and challenges become available. Points are also accumulated based on different accomplishments during your race, such as the number of enemies taken down. These can be used to upgrade your ride or to purchase all kinds of goodies from the secret shop.
Move over.
Separate from the main feature, there are an additional 10 different modes that offer a unique variety of challenges. For instance, in Deathmatch, your job is to take out a bunch of dummy yellow cars to earn points. These modes can all be played solo or cooperatively online. And of course, what would this game be without a few zany comments from Daxter?
Slowly, the racers circled us. The smell of beer hung in the air, and the smell of something else, too.
The controls, music, and sound effects are equally well done, and the tracks are designed with loads of tricky obstacles. Jack X does a great job of moving an existing franchise into an entirely new genre. Fans of this delightful series should enjoy the wacky ride that combat racing delivers. If you're thinking of laying siege to the enemy in Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War Winter Assault, but you think you need more firepower, write down this cheat for the PC. At any time during gameplay, press Control plus Shift and the tilde key and type in cheat, power, that's C-H-E-A-T _ P-O-W-E and R. And then in parentheses, type in 10,000. We just gave you 10,000 power points that can be used to buy bigger and better tanks and more powerful armaments for your troops. Now you can really show your opponents who's boss. Fans of extraterrestrial fun have reason to rejoice because Alien Hominid is back, this time on the Game Boy Advance. In this side-scrolling shoot-'em-up, you take on the role of a lovable alien who must search the Earth for his missing spaceship. Here you must fight your way past evil robots and FBI agents determined to capture you. You can collect a variety of weapon upgrades, from plasma guns to big red lasers, as well as hop in a truck and blast everything in your path. Oh, and let's not forget the inventive boss battles that are far from conventional. Once again, the biggest reason this title succeeds is the cartoonish fun that never lets up. While most action titles focus on realism, the hilarious animations, quirky characters, and solid gameplay make Alien Hominid a worthwhile GBA experience. Now, if you can just get that robot to leave you alone. Our next GBA adventure takes us to the mystical world of Obla and puts you in the shoes of a young alchemist named Juka. When your village is overtaken by the mysterious monophonic menace, it's your goal to discover the source of this evil and restore peace. There are over 25 quests to complete and more than 200 levels to explore. Along the way, your friend Bofo will give you more important clues to help solve puzzles. Also, you can collect items by simply shaking the trees. These items can be mixed to create potions that can move walls as well as temporarily stun monsters. Even though this title is far from groundbreaking, the large number of side quests and mini-games are a real treat. Plus, the humorous elements make this a refreshing experience. Juka and the Monophonic Menace definitely has younger gamers in mind, but there's plenty here to keep players of all age fully entertained. Up next, we have exciting preview footage heralding the return of a gaming icon. Cyber babe Lara Croft is back, bringing with her explosive excitement to the PC, Xbox, and PS2 in the upcoming Tomb Raider Legend. This time around, there's a major overhaul in the game's production since Crystal Dynamics took over as the development team, so you can expect some changes to the gameplay as well. In this action-adventure, you'll once again travel the world as the multi-talented Lara Croft, exploring brand new environments in a search for lost ancient realms. Fortunately, the entire control system will be revamped, creating more fluid movements. Along with an in-depth story, all of Laura's signature acrobatic moves and dual-gun mayhem should return, with plenty of new missions and gameplay enhancements in store. We'll see if Tomb Raider Legend can recapture the series' past glory. Okay, let's check out Cybernet's top 10 all-time game franchises. At number 10, when you combine guns, demons, and fast-paced action, you get Doom. The most realistic racing simulator to ever cross your television screen has to be Gran Turismo, speeding in at 9. In the 8th spot, from real-time strategy games to online role-playing adventures, people can't get enough of Warcraft. Tony Hawk is synonymous with the extreme sport of skateboarding, and that's why the superstar rolls in the 7th position. Blasting into the 6th position, people love the dramatic characters and stealth missions of the Metal Gear series. The most popular first-person shooter franchise ever is the marvelous Halo, blasting its way to number 5. At number 4, people love being part of the criminal underworld that's brought to life in Grand Theft Auto. From the first time he tried saving his girlfriend from Donkey Kong, people have been obsessed with Super Mario at 3. At 2, if you don't realize how popular sports games are, here's a great example. It's Madden NFL tackling the competition. But it's Link's mini adventures from the Legend of Zelda series that checks in as our number 1 gaming franchise. Year after year, the developers at EA turn hoop dreams into solid hardwood action with their NBA Live series. With the basketball season now in full swing, here comes the 06 edition scoring on the PC and all consoles. The best new feature this year is the 3-style Superstar control. Now when you select one of the game's most talented players, like LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, you'll be able to execute some amazing moves toward the hoop. This lets you dominate the competition with lightning speed and high-flying power slams.
With a tight-fisted defensive stand. Fast break goes the other way. The Pistons are giving code.
There are 6 different types of superstars, including high scorers, sharpshooters, and power players. On the defensive side, you can now execute stopper moves and swat balls out of the air or take off with a steal. These new power moves definitely bring some extra excitement to the court.
On the left side. Alley-oop, but nice connection that time.
Also, there are a few new additions to the Dynasty mode. You can now hire some extra help, such as a talent scout or assistant coach, to get your team up and running. Your scout can be pretty helpful in the long run by evaluating up-and-coming players, as well as focusing on draft picks that'll make your franchise a powerhouse.
Right to be lying, and I've seen him at work. Not like goes on in his mind. It's like a design is written in his head every time before he even touches the key.
In addition to regular season and exhibition games, you can take the action back to the streets and play one-on-one on a city court. Also, the All-Star Weekend activities are back, where you compete for best three-point shooter and the flashiest dunk. Otherwise, this release remains basically the same as last year's effort. For those looking for arcade-style basketball, the series always delivers. However, even with the new Superstar Control and Dynasty tweaks, this game really isn't very different from previous editions. Sadly, NBA Live 06 feels like it's stuck on the bench.
Taking it to Oda for three. Brown with a hustle play. First quarter. Well, check out the replay.
Sure, you can be like any other driver and work your way through Forza Motorsport one level at a time, but then what would be the point of having friends at Cybernet? So write down this cheat for the Xbox. Navigate your way to the profile screen, and instead of entering your name, type in lowercase n, uppercase O, lowercase s, uppercase L, lowercase I, and uppercase W. Now you can start your racing adventure on the right foot. We just put you at level 50 and unlocked all the cars and trucks this title has to offer. The way we see it, what's the use of having friends in high places if you don't take advantage of them? Coming up, we battle a superhero, play with a giant wolf, and hang glide across a tropical island. We dive into the second half of our show just as an epic war breaks out. Marvel Comics' most legendary superheroes must face off against their nemesis as the rise of imperfects threatens mankind on the GameCube, Xbox, and PlayStation 2. In the main story mode, penned by famed comic book author Mark Miller, you can control a number of characters from Marvel's library of popular superheroes, including Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Iron Man. Using superpowers, it'll be your job to pummel adversaries to establish the supremacy of good once and for all. These head-to-head battles take place in fully interactive environments that should be familiar to fans of the Marvel Universe. This title's problems begin with the limited variety of moves available. Given the number of recently released top-notch superhero games, it's incredibly frustrating to only have basic moves like blocking, jumping, attacking, and throwing at your disposal. This takes away from the signature fighting styles made famous by these characters, making them nearly interchangeable. Where this title picks up a bit of steam is with the boss battles. These are a refreshing change of pace from the mindless enemy AI you'll confront along the way. Here, you're forced to utilize the environments and destructible objects to defeat your opponents. But if you really want to enjoy this game, Once you unlock enough characters, you can grab a buddy and battle it out in the versus mode, or better yet, take the action online.
Look at me when I'm talking to you, or I'll crush you like a bug.
To its credit, Marvel Nemesis does feature solid graphics, highlighted by strong lighting effects and texture work. But sadly, that's not enough to save this truly mediocre effort. The Rise of the Imperfects is too loaded with imperfections and fails to do justice to the fantastic Marvel characters. Here at Cybernet, we figure if you're brave enough to compete against the best golfers in the world in Tiger Woods' PGA Tour 06, you deserve to be rewarded. So write down this tactic for the PC and all consoles. Navigate your way to the password screen and enter W-O-O-G-L-I-N. You've just unlocked every golfer this title has to offer. We here at Cybernet feel that if you want to be the best at something, it's a good idea to walk in the shoes of a great one first. Have fun. We return now to the idyllic world of Eden, where you'll reprise your role as a powerful deity. In this mythical land, you are the ultimate head of state, as you're about to find out in Black and White 2 for the PC. Just like in the first Black and White strategy action game, this sequel bestows you with godlike powers, forcing you to make an important decision. Do you become a kind and benevolent ruler and create a majestic environment? Or do you take the path of evil and produce a deadly war machine? The choice you make will determine the fate of the island inhabitants, as well as the game's direction. You begin by choosing a creature, which essentially acts as your instrument of power. It can be instructed to build cities, entertain villagers, or crush an invading force. Creatures are kind of like giant pets, so they need constant nurturing. Then, depending on their behavior and how they perform, you can either discipline or reward them. Nice doggy. The location here is a beautiful island with only a few villagers. But as events unfold and large cities are created, the population increases. Along the way, you'll complete various objectives, although like other sim-style games, there's no winning or losing. You will, however, need to deal with outside forces, which can be dealt with using either niceness or aggression. The gameplay incorporates many familiar RTS elements, such as resource gathering, positioning your military, and erecting structures. Fortunately, improvements to the controls and interface makes moving and issuing commands much smoother. It's also easier to see information on screen. Plus, the AI is more responsive, producing smarter reactions from the villagers and your creature. After playing Black and White 2, it's easy to see why developer Peter Molyneux is considered a gaming legend. His team at Lionhead has produced a multi-layered experience that's innovative, charming, and visually impressive. It's not the groundbreaking release of the original, but the technical upgrades definitely make up for it. Our game of the week is the return of the all-time best-selling North American sports franchise. Strap on your helmet, because we're off to the gridiron to play some football with Madden NFL 2006 on the PC and all consoles. Every Madden release includes at least a few new features, and the 06 version is no exception. Most notable are upgrades to the passing system. With the quarterback's vision, a cone of light appears indicating how much of the field your passer can see at any given moment. When you pass into this area, you're much more likely to make a completion. Conversely, if you choose not to throw into this cone, your pass will probably end up incomplete. Another upgrade is precision passing, which lets you place a thrown ball right where you want, allowing for much more control. As for the ground game, there's the new truck stick, which lets your running back throw a forearm into a defender, freeing him up for a touchdown. Along with statistical updates and a few other tweaks, all the best elements that make this series special are back and better than ever. Accurate controls, realistic animations, great graphics, an intricate play selection, and of course, John Madden returns once again to the announcer's booth.
The thing about both these teams is they're not just one-dimensional. If something doesn't work, they make the adjustment and they come at you in another way. I'm looking for lots of big plays in this one.
More than any other version, this year's release of Madden NFL requires practice, practice, and more practice, especially if you plan to take your skills online against the competition. All the new features add greater realism, but they also increase the complexity, so the learning curve is much steeper. There's a lot to absorb for casual fans, but dedicated gamers will find plenty of reason to celebrate with this new edition. This may seem like a beautiful island, but take our word for it, this is not a place to take a vacation. Lurking just past the palm trees are punks, thugs, and even a few mutated freaks. So watch your back, it's time for Far Cry Instincts on the Xbox. The title is essentially an Xbox conversion of last year's PC hit Far Cry, but in many ways the developers have produced an entirely new experience with more levels and features. The setup, however, remains the same. You play as Jack Carver, who becomes stranded on a tropical island. Before he even has time to slap on some suntan lotion, he finds himself hunted by a deadly team of mercenaries. In this first-person shooter, you'll fight your way through lush landscapes using both heavy firepower and a bit of quiet stealth. The weapon selection is plentiful and realistic, including assault rifles, carbines, and pistols, as well as knives for up-close attacks. When things get boring, you can activate primal powers, giving you abilities like super strength and super jump. These animalistic skills are kind of cool, but are only marginally effective. Along the way, you'll have to confront some truly tough bad guys. The smart enemy AI makes it vital you watch the visual display on screen and take advantage of the radar. However, when confronted with angry, brutal freaks of nature, nothing but your own courage and skill will keep you alive. Along with a map creation feature, a major highlight is the fantastic selection of vehicles. You can hop into everything from a hang glider to a speedboat while spraying machine gun fire at the enemy. The maps are also incredibly interactive, so nearly everything can be moved, thrown, or blown up. Overall, Far Cry Instincts is an excellent console version of the PC hit. It's absolutely one of the best-looking Xbox games yet, with smart level design and loads of multiplayer and online features. Survival isn't a sure thing on this paradise island, but we'll take our chances. Looks like it's time to pack our bags and leave this dangerous place behind, because our show has come to an end. Cybernet will be back soon, though, with more great game reviews. Don't forget to keep in touch via email. So until next we meet again, here's more action from X-Men Legends 2: Rise of Apocalypse, compliments of Cybernet.